Hello everyone, I'm Sanjay Saha from National University of Singapore, and I'm presenting the paper Is Face Recognition Safe from Realizable Attacks, authored by me and Dr. Terence. The use of face recognition is now very broad and popular, and it is a common target to various attacks. And state-of-the-art face recognition systems are vulnerable to previous attacks, as seen by works from other authors as well. And in this work, our goal is to examine vulnerability of face recognition systems in black box settings, which will eventually be a realistic attack in a real world scenario. So we create a scenario, or we imagine a scenario where the realizable attack on face recognition systems can happen. For that, the face recognition system is assumed to be used to authenticate users of the building. The face recognition system is attended by a security guard, and the attacker wants to get into the building by fooling the face recognition system. He must also not try to raise any serious suspicion of the security guard. Hence, whatever he does has to be carefully done so that the security guard does not get suspicious enough. The attacker does not know the internal structure of the face recognition system or any algorithm or parameters. Hence, it is a black box attack. And these are the main requirements for a realistic attack scenario in face recognition systems. So our proposed method is an attack scheme where we have a face synthesizer with which generates synthesized face images given some parameter vector p, and we have a face recognition system which is a black box to us, which gives us an identity and a score when presented to the face. The target face recognition system here recognizes the faces that are present in the gallery, and it does not authorize any other faces outside of the gallery. So when presented a synthesized face, we get an identity and score from the target face recognition system, and we use a parameter optimizer to optimize the parameter vector p based on the identity and the score to update the parameter vector and send it to synthesizer for the next step, next iteration. And hence it is an analysis by synthesis method. We experiment with three kinds of attack. One is break-in, impersonation, and evasion. In a break-in attack, the attacker has to get into the building by fooling the face recognition system, where he does not specify the target or victim or any particular face that he wants to fool the face recognition system as. Whereas in impersonation, he has a specific target, and anything other than the target, any misclassification other than the target face is considered an unsuccessful attack. And in evasion, the attacker himself is in the gallery and he tries to evade the gallery entirely. Face synthesizer the main focus of our face synthesizer is to generate realizable face images so that it can be replicated in real world scenarios, which is why we use the MMDA face synthesizer. The MMDA face synthesizer is actually capable of realistic looking faces from given different variations of the training faces, and after learning, it gives us a controllable parameter vector p, which has these values to control the modes or levels of changes that we need to make on the faces of the attackers. And we chose MMDA because it is easy to train, it produces good quality realistic images, and yeah, it has a controllable parameter set which we use to optimize our attacks. So we train the face synthesizer with different variations of the face of an attacker. In this case, these are 72 images of attacker 1, which is me in this case, and these are different variations of facial hair, makeups, scars or moles, eyeglasses, and expressions. We also train more models with two more attackers, two other attackers. This is to maintain the fact that we cover as many races or genders possible to see the scale of the attacks. Here are some successful attacks where using the attack scheme that we have proposed, and the images on the upper row are from the face synthesizers of the attackers, and the images on the bottom row are the images of the victims that we could misclassify that the face recognition system misclassified as. So the images on the upper row are actually generated face images, and yeah, actually generated face images, and the images on the sorry. And here's some successful impersonation attacks where the attackers face images are also in this case generated images, and we targeted the specific victim in this kind of attacks where the face recognition system got fooled by the attack faces with this specific makeups or changes or changes suggested by the face synthesizer. So to realize those attacks, we need to put on those makeups suggested by the face synthesizer onto our real face, onto the attacker's real face, and present the face before the face recognition system. We tried that with multiple suggested photos and suggested images from the face synthesizer, and we saw that it can successfully break in or impersonate multiple attacks, multiple victims by fooling the face recognition system. We replicated the makeups of facial hairs that were suggested by the generated faces onto our real face, and we could successfully fool the face recognition system. We also had some unsuccessful attacks in multiple cases where say the attacker one is an South Asian looking. Sorry, do we have a chat here? Yeah, South Asian male, where the attacker 2 is a Caucasian female, and we see that the South Asian male, where in this case my face has failed to impersonate anyone from a Caucasian male or an Asian female or someone who is from different gender, different race. Same goes for attacker 2, and this is why when the gallery is built with faces from different race and gender, the attacks tend to fail, not to succeed much. And in evasion attacks also, where the attacker's face itself is in the gallery, the attack scheme does not provide face images such that or suggest any makeups that help the attacker to evade the gallery. In the findings, we can see that the variation of galleries matters, where say we experimented with 3 random galleries for multiple attackers, and we see that on an average we have 5 successful attacks out of 20 in first random gallery, and 2 only for random gallery 2, and 3 for random and 10 successful attacks for random gallery 3 for multiple attackers. And when the gallery is compiled with only faces from same race or same gender, we can see the 2 spikes in the middle, which gave us the best number of successful attacks, which show that that if the gallery has face images from the same race or the same gender, we can be more successful in attacking face recognition system. And on the right, we see that different gender and different race causes very less successful attacks, which indicates that for these attacks to be successful, we need those galleries to have similar looking faces. Also, different gallery sizes matters. We tried with different gallery sizes from 10 to 330, and we see that when the gallery size is larger, the chances of getting a successful attack is also very high. And this shows that if we have a broader set of gallery, the chances of breaking in or impersonating someone is very high. In summary, we approximately have 21.8% of the attacks were successful, and real perturbations of the attacker face succeeded in break-in and impersonation attacks. That means realizable attacks on black box settings on state-of-the-art face recognition systems are very much possible. Impersonation attacks depend on the similarity between the attacker and the victim. So if they look similar, it is easier to impersonate rather than if they're from different race or gender. Good initial parameter vector also plays an important role when we try to synthesize the face images. So our work makes a current call for urgent research to address these vulnerabilities in face recognition systems. We hope that other researchers will take up this challenge. Thanks.